Okay, so there are a lot of misconceptions I'm here to clear up about Gold Experience Requiem's true ability and where his stats lie. More specifically, this time I will be focusing on the data books in itself because I've already covered the specific feats in older videos, but the data books just given more in-depth, really description on what his abilities do. Okay, so bear with me because I will be using ChatGPT to translate the data books to English. I own them in person, but I'm using ChatGPT to show you guys. So we see at the top headline, it says the ultimate stand that returns everything to nothing. So therefore, we see the top headline in the self-explanatory. The author himself is saying that Gold Experience Requiem, the stand that turns everything into nothing. It doesn't say actions will, anything like that. He's simply saying everything, right? The data book is completely written by Hiraki himself. Obviously, I'm not going to take that statement and be hyperbolic with it, but we see in the next translation, just giving a brief overall explanation for his ability that we kind of already know to a certain degree, but it kind of gives a more in-depth attack of them to nothing. Furthermore, it possesses destructible power surpassing existing stands, making it truly the ultimate stand. People like to inflate the word pierced here or being attacked or something like that, but pierced has multiple definitions, whether you want to take it as moved, passed through, anything like that. If you go by definition of the ability, right, how the ability says it has to hit, how does the ability hit? Reverting actions or will, right? Not he actually has to hit you. There's no actual showing or even statements or events where Gold Experience Requiem is shown that he has to hit you in order for you to be affected by his ability. I feel like that's a bad statement with no clear justification. Then also the bottom paragraph is just specifically talking about anyone hit by that ability will have even their deaths reverted to 0, right? But we know that Jjba himself did not kill Diavolo. Diavolo was actually still alive after being knocked into the water. Trish even states this. Giorno knows this, but Giorno also knows that it's the end for Diavolo. He does not know how, but he knows it's the end for him. Therefore, he does not have to kill you in order for you to be put into an infinite death loop. We see Diavolo actually get stabbed once he is inside of a tunnel. The pain is so excruciating, despite him having his arms literally nearly cut off, his him being stabbed and penetrated may bleed earlier throughout the series or season, yet he is not writhing in agony from those attacks, but we see him writhing in agony from the attack from a person stabbing him. So you can kind of say either GR has pain amplification or anything like that, but you never really see him writhe on the ground like that from a small attack like that. Even stating that the pain that he felt was so great that he had never felt it before, despite him fighting everyone and sustaining similar or higher levels of degree of pain throughout the fight or injuries. Now here's the juicy part. It states that with Requiem's ability, all phenomena are returned to nothing, and any result that would reach a desired future will never be attained. So in this, he is directly stating that all phenomena are returned to nothing. Any result that would reach a desired future, meaning you wanting to win, you wanting to attack, will never be attained. You will never reach the reality that will occur. GR states this. Hiraki himself is writing this in the guidebook. Any arguments against GR being beaten, they will never arrive at that. It is completely negated. It clearly states it here. So if you have a character like, if we're putting Wonder of You up against GR, this is an equal fight. We're not going to put Toru far away and have GR attempting to go and kill him, regardless if that will work or not. This is a one-on-one standing in a field. They are both trying to win the fight. Wonder of You has no future in which he is the desired, in which he is the winner. There is no future of it. It gets completely negated. He will never attain it. The Requiem ability evolved through the arrow, rivals an infinite stand, and cannot be measured. Cannot be measured. All perception and actions are returned to 0, making even control over events impossible. Hiraki himself is stating that it is impossible to beat this stand. He is returning all perception and actions to 0. He's saying that even if you have control over events themselves, it is impossible to beat the stand. He is saying that the stand cannot be measured. It rivals it rivals infinite or cannot be measured. Now these are two completely different statements and are crazy statements. Near infinite and a cannot be measured stand. Immeasurable speed, immeasurable strength, immeasurable everything. All I'm saying is stop sleeping on GR Go look into your data books. There's also the Jojo Veller data book that I might be covering soon. But, bro, you sleeping on this stand, like I said before. You're in my comments disrespecting GR. He bypasses infinity simply by nullifying it. He is a crazy stand. I would even argue that he has complete power nullification, as we see in the data book itself. The Jojo Veller data book itself is stating that he can negate and nullify all abilities, and I will be covering that next. But we see GR do some pretty crazy things throughout the series, but this data book, it sets it in stone. Regardless of your interpretation, we know Araki himself wrote GR, and he knows how strong the stand is. He is saying it right now that the stand is immeasurable. Even if you can control events, you cannot beat this stand. He is saying that any and all phenomenon are reverted to zero. It doesn't matter. Any future that you desire to happen will never even be attained. You cannot beat this stand no matter what.